Welcome to the Car Guy Show. Join award-winning automotive magazine publisher Tim Miller, along with his co-hosts, national champion race car driver Kristin Traeger, and country singer, songwriter, and driving instructor Luke Betchner as they travel the country looking at car life and car culture. Join us as we meet car guys in their cars, in their garages, at their clubs, and at their events. Come along for a real kick in the asphalt.
Car clubs are an important part of the automotive enthusiast community, and any given weekend, there are thousands of car club members gathered together for their car club's meetings, events, and car shows, where they share experiences, swap stories, and raise money for charity. Well, in this episode, we go behind the scenes with an AMX club. Welcome to the Car Guy Show. I'm your host, Tim Miller, and this episode starts now.
We're here with Steven, the event coordinator of the North Texas AMC Club. Tell me about this club. How do you get involved? What do you all do?
Well, we have a website where people can go online and register. And once they see once they register, I put them on my Evite list. We have a breakfast once a month on a Saturday morning, and they can come and we talk about cars, naturally, and tell some interesting stories, lie about them mostly. And then on other days like this, we put together a tech session where one of the guys has issues with his car, and we come out and try and fix his car and have a good time and tell more stories. Most of them are not true, but that's what makes it fun.
I'm sensing a theme here with the tall tales.
Well, tall tales is what guys do when they get together. It's never, it's always who's got the biggest this or that, and we just have fun with it.
Good deal. So do you have to have an AMC to be a member of the club?
You don't have to. There are guys in the club that don't have. They wish they had, or they're looking for one, or they're building one. Like right now, I don't have a running AMC car. I'm in the middle of a major restoration, and hopefully I'll have mine back on the road maybe by Labor Day.
Good deal. What makes this club special?
Well, it's all about the car. AMCs are special. They're just, you go to car shows and you don't hardly ever see them because they're so rare at this point. Everybody wants to have a Chevy or a Ford and these days a Mopar, but the AMCs have just been lost in the crowd. But more and more now that they're starting to rise in value, people are saying, hey, let's get that Javelin or AMX on the road.
Good deal. So how many members do you have with your club?
We really are just getting off the ground now. This is the biggest turnout we've had here today. Typically, breakfast is usually 6, 8, 10 people, but we're hoping that with this TV show airing, people seeing it, the word gets out and the club will start to grow.
Yeah, hopefully so. I mean, it's a very unique car. I think it would draw some attention. I mean, I don't know, I find it fascinating.
As me as well. We're part of the, AMC has sort of been absorbed by, Chrysler. So at the Chrysler car shows, you see all the Mopars there. There's usually an odd American Motors car there, sometimes a Nash even, but it's a percentage that's so small. I mean, if you get 30 Mopars, you might get 3 American Motors cars. So we're hoping that's and the cars are around, and it seems that everybody who has an American Motors car has like 3. So hopefully people will get around to fixing up their cars and get them out, and we'll start growing, and we'll be the 4th major company.
Well, you heard it here first. AMC is making a comeback. Where can people go to learn more about your car club?
They can go to our website, which is northtexasamc.com. There's a registration form there, and you can fill that out, send in a $15 check for the year, and you become a member.
$15 for the whole year?
What a bargain.
What a deal. You got to check it out. I'm here with JC, a member of the North Texas AMC Club, which AMC stands for American Motor Company,
Right.
which I am getting all sorts of an education on today, learning the history of it. I hadn't even heard of it before today, but it was a company that existed during what time period?
From 1968 to 1978. And of course, the hot rod years or muscle car years were from 68 to 74, basically. And
Now, what I find interesting is that they actually developed the Jeep that we all know and love today.
Right.
And then Chrysler bought AMC specifically to acquire the Jeep.
We built the Jeep for the person who wants to leave roads far behind, tell trails to get lost, and go where the crowd can't follow. And now, for 1973, this tough 4x4 classic is better than ever.
yeah, because Jeep took over AMC in 68 or 78, excuse me, and then Chrysler took over Jeep, that kind of thing. As a matter of fact, the 401 motors were in a lot of the Jeeps, which was initially a motor that was in the muscle car, the era for AMC.
Well, that's really cool. Now, I don't see any Jeeps here today with your club. What's the most popular car here with your AMC Club?
I hope mine. Of course, I'm prejudiced.
You're a little biased.
Yeah, well, I'm the original owner. So I bought the car brand new in 1971 in September. It's a 401 model with the 4-speed 391 rear end. Basically loaded package. It had side pipes on it from the factory, machine wheels, leather interior, vinyl top. So it's pretty well loaded package. AC too, which is nice here in Texas.
Ooh, definitely.
Yeah, so I'm a little prejudiced towards my own car, but of course the two-seaters like the 69 AMC that's there, that AMX, that's real popular too. 71 was the first year they went to the 4-seater in the AMX model.
Very cool. Now, I'd like to drive one of these. Are the boys almost finished fixing it?
Yeah, I think we're just about got mine up and running here, I hope, and I'd love for you to drive it and let you wheel it and burn rubber and do whatever you want to do. I know you're quite the driver, so I'm not worried about you.
My favorite things to do. Let's take
Right.
it for a spin then.
Right, yeah, for sure.
You're watching The Car Guy Show, and we'll be right back. Hi, I'm Terry Hanna, and this is my ride. Got one of the unusual cars from the country. It's a 1967 Rambler Rebel SST. Very few of them were made in 67, even fewer of them were documented. It was American Motors' first foray into the drag racing market with this car. The engine size was the biggest that they had for the year, the 343 cubic inch engine, stock horsepower rated at about 280 with a 4-barrel carburetor. I am the third owner of this car. I found it dead after about 20 years. I've been working on it for a couple of years. Very fun car to drive. Lots of comments on it from everybody. They look at it and seem to think it's a Plymouth or a Dodge most of the times. It's even been called a GTO. But a lot of the people that designed the cars at that time had this design, and it was pretty much the big three had this design in the mid to late 60s. They're fun little cars to drive. Hard to find parts for American Motors cars, but great little cars. Firmly believe American Motors should still be in business today. Done a little bit of work to the engine, boarded out the 30 thousandths. I've got a cam in it, just a nice mild street strip cam. Got some hooker headers on it, a air gap intake, and a nice double pump 650 carburetor on it. Performs quite well. It's the second one I've had. I bought one brand new when I was a young man, straight from the factory. Bought it from a dealership called Topol Rambler in Kenosha, Wisconsin. It was one of one that was built. This particular car, I like to show it off. You don't find many in this part of the country to begin with. You find more of the AMXs, Javelins. As for the Rebel SST, really don't find all that many. They didn't become popular here in our part of the country like they did in the Midwest and the Northeast or even the Northwest coast of the country. Enjoy going to the car shows just to show it off. Show them something different. It's not a Mustang, it's not a Camaro. It's something just a little bit different. People show a lot of interest. I get invited to a few invitation-only shows. One of the shows that was a great fun last year was the Montreur d'Elegance put on by the Dallas Mason area. Very good show. Fun to go to the shows. The awards that come along, I can take them or leave them. It's more fun to talk about cars with everybody else that loves to talk about cars. It doesn't matter what kind of a badge is on the side of the car. If you're a car fanatic or a car fan, you talk about your cars. Name doesn't make any difference.
All right, I'm here with Tom and his AMX, which stands for what?
American Motors Experimental.
What made it experimental?
I think it was just the fact that they weren't sure they were going to build it, and they decided to try that name, and that's where it stuck.
Did the gamble pay off? Did this car do well?
No, it really didn't. They didn't sell very well, and after 3 years, they stopped making them with the two-seater.
Which makes it a good collector car for today because it's very unique.
Well, let's hope so, yes.
Fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed. It's my retirement fund.
Nice. Well, the paint and the interior are in incredible shape. Is this stock or?
No, this car was resprayed. It always was. This is called bittersweet orange metallic. It always was this color, but it was repainted in the mid-'80s. So even for 35 years, it is in good shape.
Yeah, really good shape. Bittersweet orange?
Yes, that's the name of it.
What a name.
They always come up with unique colors on cars. It's never just orange.
What makes this model special?
I think just on this model, on this car, it's the biggest motor that they had, and it's a 4-speed, which is very desirable, and it's got factory air, which is very desirable in Texas.
Yes, I'd say so. So what kind of horsepower is this putting out?
It has 315.
Okay.
So there was bigger motors in other cars. It wasn't the fastest car out there, but it is a unique car.
Now, is this one of the models that they ended up racing, or?
Yes, they did. Well, maybe in 70. I don't know if they did in 69, but I'm pretty sure they did in 70 and 71. They kept the name, but they went to a 4-seater after that. This is a true 2-seater here.
I think I like the 2-seater better.
I do. It's a little shorter and a little more sportier for my taste, but they're all nice cars.
What drew you to this car?
Just the fact that there's not a whole lot out there. I've had a lot of Corvettes and big Dodges and Plymouths over the years and Oldsmobiles, and I just wanted something different, something you don't see at car shows.
Fair enough, and you certainly don't see this everywhere.
Not very often.
What drew you to this car club?
Actually, this is my first time here. I met JC, the owner of the property, a couple months ago, and he invited me, so I'm a newbie.
Nice. Well, you're kind of like a band of misfits. Everyone's so cool,
Yeah.
and it's such an interesting and unique car that it draws interesting and unique people.
It seems to, doesn't it? Yeah, we're not the Camaro Club where there's, they probably made 120,000 Mustangs a year in '69, where they only made less than 10,000 of these. So it might have even been more than that. They might have made 150,000 Mustangs in '69. So this is a rare car.
Well, thanks for sharing your unique car with us.
Thank you.
You're watching The Car Guys Show. We'll be right back. Hi, I'm Mel Stanley, and this is my ride. I'm here with my 70 AMC AMX. It's a car I special ordered, and so it's a one-owner car. Back in the 70s, I did a lot of autocrossing with it. It was, in its class, an absolute killer car. I won a few local championships and did a second place in the national event in 1975. Pretty neat car. It's short wheelbase, lots of torque. It makes for an absolutely awesome autocross vehicle. More recently, we rebuilt the engine. The car's got about 75,000 miles on it. but the engine sat for about 20 years, unrun and unloved. So when we brought it back to life, the engine needed a rebuild. I put Edelbrock heads and intake manifold on the car, on the engine. Took 100 pounds off the engine. So I'm in the process now of moving the battery to the trunk, trying to get a better weight bias on the car. I still autocross it occasionally. Of course, it's not competitive anymore with the modern cars, but it's still an awful lot of fun to take to an autocross event. Other modifications include front and rear heavier sway bars. I've lowered the car. Since there's not much in the way of secondary market equipment for these cars, I've had to design and build my own lowering kit / brake caliper bracket. Willwood brakes all around, standard Willwood kit in the rear, my own design equipment in the front, 6-piston caliper front, 4-piston caliper in the rear. You know, it's a weekend toy. I take it out, take the wife to a bed and breakfast, you know, do autocrossing and do occasional track days. I'm not going to make a track car out of it. It's too nice a car to beat up that way. But the occasional trip to the track is not going to hurt the car, and it's just a real fun thing. I mean, driving over here this morning, I had a guy in a Jaguar slow down and give me a thumbs up.
I'm with JC and his AMX.
Right.
Now, you've been the single owner of this car, right?
Right, since 1971. I bought it in September 1971 in upstate New York, where I was living up there from a dealership up there.
And she only has 25,000 miles on it. That's incredible.
Just turned 25,000 miles. I took it off the road in 1976 when I moved back to Texas. Left it in my mother's garage up there, and it sat till 1984, and then she moved to Louisville, Kentucky, and I took and had to go get the car, brought it here, had kids in school and all that stuff, and I figured once they were all gone, I'd get it back on the road, which I did 5 years ago. The bad thing I did to it is in 1974, took and fleared the wheel wells, put bigger tires on and different set of pipes, and anyway, now I'm trying to get the car back to almost 100% original. Luckily, I didn't do anything motor-wise, tranny-wise, or rear end. It was more body modifications. But I have all the parts now to redo it. I found them and searching for them. I actually found the original machine wheels, which I'll put back on too, and all that. And I did get the side pipes, the factory side pipes put back on. So getting nearer and nearer to completion. Hopefully in the next year or so I can get it completely redone. Yeah.
So what horsepower is this engine producing?
Well, it's a 330 it's rated for, and it's a 401 cubic inch, which was the largest motor they offered at that time. And of course I got the 4-speed and a 391 rear end in it right now with positive traction.
Was that typical of the day to have a 4-speed?
No, actually only about 22% of the cars that year produced had 4 speeds, and I've been told I have one of 16 that's still around with the 4-speed, which makes it even more valuable, the car. That's another reason I want to get it back to almost, you know, pristine condition. So
Cha-ching.
Cha-ching, right, yeah. Well, I'm not going to get rid of the car. I'll pass it on to one of my grandkids when they get big enough, so.
And the interior's in great shape. Is that all original?
That's all original. Came with leather interior, came with the vinyl top, AC, which was not that's also very rare, the AC.
Yeah, rare for the day.
Which I'm glad, you know, being back here in Texas that I have that, you know, that kind of.
You need that.
Yeah, for sure. So, but yeah, everything, the interior really, the car was garaged the whole time, which I'm very thankful for. It wasn't outside in any of the weather conditions. Matter of fact, when I lived in New York, I only licensed it 6 months out of the year because I didn't want to drive in the snow with all the salt and stuff they used to put on the roads, because I had a truck up there. So I only really drove the car for pleasure, and that's another reason it has such low mileage.
That's smart.
Yeah.
So how long will it take to put it back to all original parts and restore it?
Probably a couple months. The money's the issue right now.
That's always the issue.
Right. I figure it's going to take about 10 grand to get it completely redone because I'll have to have it repainted. Phoenix Graphics still makes the striping. As you can see here, how that striping goes from light to dark, and so it's very unique in that way too. So it's just a money issue right now. So.
Well, I bet when it's all said and done, this will be a great contender in some car shows.
Oh yeah, for sure. And I'm looking forward to that, to having it completely done for that.
You're watching the Car Guy Show. It's a kick in the asphalt.
I had such a great day with the North Texas AMC Club. These guys really show that car clubs are the backbone of the American automotive industry. They bring people in, get people excited. Before today, I had no idea what AMC was, and they have such a cool history. So go to our Facebook page and like us, and you can also go to our YouTube channel to watch our show anytime and see bonus video as well. So remember, this show is a kick in the asphalt.
Like this show? Want more? Then head to WatchPTTV.com, the new 100% free PowerTube TV streaming network. Home of the best classic and new motorsports racing and build shows on the web.